Hey, before we get to the video, I just want to say thank you to John. I contacted John to see if he wanted to do a collab about eating the mustard in the blue crab. Us in Maryland, we love that stuff, most of us here. The only bad part that we didn't get a chance, this kind of happened so quickly, and he only had a very short period of time to be able to get to the blue crabs and everything. I wanted to send him some JO number 2 to season his crabs, and I really couldn't do it. And let me tell you, I sent my clips to John, and John pretty much did 95% of all the editing. So this is mostly John doing it, except for this little beginning thing. I sent him a clip. He did a wonderful job. It's really good. So what I want to do, since they don't really steam the crabs like we do, so I'm not really going to send them to JO number 2, because you still need the shells on, would be the best. If you take the shells off, this might not be the best seasoning for you. So what I'm going to do, since they do a lot of fishing, please go check out their channel. They do some fishing. They've been down to Key West. They're in North Carolina. They do hunting videos. They did some frog gigging. They do a lot of cooking on the channel from all the things that they catch, which is really cool. So what I'm going to send them is an all-purpose seasoning from JO. It's number 1. JO is not sponsoring this video whatsoever. All right, this is just a seasoning that we use. I'm going to send him some here. It's a fish batter. This one is really good. It got a little kick to it. So we're going to send these down to John and his family, but you really got to go check them out. So the thing with JO, you know, a lot of people talk about Old Bay, and don't get me wrong, man, we use our Old Bay too, but you know, JO's been a family-owned company for 75 years here in Maryland. 75 years this company's been here, and these are not just the only seasonings. They have all kind of seasoning for any kind of cook you want to do, but we definitely like their seasoning for the shrimp. We put this on our shrimp, we put this in our crab soups, and this, you know, battering anything, they have more stuff. So if you do want to check them out, I want you guys to go to jo.com. I think it's jo.com. I don't know, JO Seasonings, and check them out. Really, really good product. We use it a lot. Okay, sorry about this. Let's get to the video. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Well, it is nighttime. That's because we just got back from, go ahead, show them. We just got back from crabbing. What I can tell you about when it comes to blue crabs, at least on the eastern side of the United States, everybody eats their crabs different. Here in Maryland, I would say 95% of people steam them like this, with shells on, with the seasoning on top. I challenged people from South Carolina what it was. I want them to eat the crabs like we do in Maryland. That means the mustard. The mustard inside. Everybody goes in and they pull the shells off. They completely clean the inside. You know, when we do ours, we have the apple cider vinegar on the inside, and that, to me, when you steam them, and you steam them there, all the apple cider vinegar and the beer, because you got a beer with it. If you want to see how to do that, I got a video. I'll put the video right here. We have some friends, new friends of mine, from Woods to Table, and I challenged them to steam them like we do. We didn't get a chance because it was such a rush to send them some JO seasoning. This is JO number 2 on this crab, the seasoning that we steam our crabs with. But I thought this would be fun to challenge people to try to eat the crabs like we do, eat the insides of it, the mustard, instead of cleaning it out. Guys, I hope you have fun with this. I'm very excited to see how this turns out.
What's going on, everybody? I'm John Turner. This is Woods to Table, and we are back at the beach this week. You know, if we're at the beach, at some point, that's going to have something to do with blue crabs, and we're excited to see if we can't put a mess of them on the table tonight. We made a new friend. Sam from Outdoors in Maryland reached out to us and kind of challenged us to cook our crabs and eat our crabs a little bit different this time than we usually do. He's from Maryland, so he's a purist when it comes to eating blue crabs, and they want to see us eat that crab mustard inside the crabs. Life's about trying new things, right? So we're going to give that a shot. But Sam, this is for you.
So for this trip, we went to Charleston with some of our best and oldest friends who were eager to try crab, and we hadn't been in town 5 minutes when we headed to the river to get set up. No matter how you want to eat your crabs, the main ingredient are the crabs themselves. So we set out aboard the newly repowered Baby Mia in search of our quarry. Now, with only a trolling motor and oars to work with, we didn't have access to a lot of different water. And for whatever reason, we really struggled catching crabs at all depths in the river. Thankfully, we were able to have success right there at the dock. Just go with what works. Dock crabs, better than no crabs.
Woo! Kelly's excited because he says he'll eat a lot of crabs.
Oh! There we go. We're making some headway now.
Our next challenge, which often happens when you travel, is not having access to all of our gear. But don't ever let that stop you.
You gotta work with what you got, I guess. I don't know, maybe we'll have to do 2 batches, but I think this will get us there.
With our new cookware secured, we're gonna get set up in Charleston and ask Sam to explain how they do this in Maryland.
15 million ways to eat them, okay? But we leave the shells on and we eat the stuff inside. Now we don't eat all the stuff. So what I'm gonna show you is because I told the wife, I said, I'm getting this guy.
Oh, the beautiful one.
I'm getting him. He's probably
He is humongous.
Probably 7.5, 8 inches, 7.5, 8 inch crab. That's a big crab.
Huge.
All right. So this is how I quickly eat the crab. Now you can do it different ways. You can leave the claws on. I'm just going to do it real quick. I take all the claws off. I save the claws for later. This is you see how I already look at it. I already got all of my fingers. So when you pull this out like this, make sure I got that right. I pull that out and I just sit here and I do have friends that will eat this. They will go in here. You see all this up in here? They eat all that in here. All that stuff. We're not gonna let you guys do that. If you want to, you can. But you see all up in here? All the mustard, see all the mustard right there gets in there? That's pretty good. This was a monster crab. So seriously, we clean it off. Everybody takes their dead man fingers off, just like that. Dead man fingers. Now there's some squiggly stuff in here. I'm not going to eat the squiggly stuff. All right, I'm not into that. All right. But you see, I will crack this in half. Ooh, he's a big one, man. My wife was a little mad because I took the big one. But you see that?
Good Lord.
But that's the mustard. That's the mustard in there. Okay. I know. See, that's a little squiggly. I won't eat that. But see that? If I could bottle this, I could make $1 million just in Maryland by selling this stuff. All right. So I will squeeze this, and it's hard to squeeze when it's as packed as this one is. And look at that mustard in there. See the mustard?
And the meat.
So now this is the mustard. You want to make sure the mustard's with the meat.
Right.
Eat the insides of it, the mustard, instead of cleaning it out. A lot of people clean them out, but we don't. All right, guys, let's see what you can do.
Back in Charleston, we were almost set for dinner, and it's a good thing for us as steaming crabs is very simple, because a house full of kids and crabs was starting to fall apart.
Watch out, Adam. That guy might try to get it. Get
As far as the recipe goes, we stuck to Sam's advice wherever we could. We started with equal parts apple cider vinegar and light beer in the pot, then covered on both sides with Old Bay seasoning since J.O.'s not available here.
I think we might get them all in there.
Covered and steamed for about 18 minutes. If I'm being honest, the combination of the apple cider vinegar and the beer in the steamer kind of made the kitchen smell like feet. And somehow, once done steaming, it does add a nice flavor to the crabs. Now it's time to try that mustard.
So they eat that?
You eat it. That's the crab mustard. I'm gonna eat it here. Give it a whirl. Man. It tastes alright. I'm not hating.
In the end, the room was kind of split on the idea of crab mustard. For me, I can kind of take it or leave it. But regardless of how you cook your crabs, we can all agree it's not the most important thing about crabbing.
Blue crabs, eating blue crabs, we hear people all the time talking about how, that's so tedious, it's so much work to get to the meat. Well, most of them are not from Maryland. And what I can tell you is, to me, Maryland and eating crabs is, you having your friends, your family, the kids, everybody's around. And I remember as a kid, your mom picking the crab for you, and she'd be handing you meat as you're running around the table, and we do the same thing. And it's just a very special tradition. And I know me and my wife, we are very lucky. We do it way more than a lot of people get a chance to do here in Maryland. It's just very special. It's been special ever since I grew up. And when I really introduced the crabbing to my wife, she's become a monster. A complete monster.
Hey, we hear you, Sam, and we know how addicting crabbing can be, and how much fun it is to do this with your friends and your family, your kids' friends, anybody and everybody, doesn't matter. Get out there together in the outdoors and make yourself some memories. We had a blast catching and cooking these crabs. We appreciate Sam reaching out and encouraging us to try something new. And hey, we even made a new friend in the process, and that's a big part of what this is all about.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you like and make sure you share. And make sure you go to my buddies over here, Woods the Table, man. They got a great family channel, a lot of things with the kids, all right? So, have fun, drink some beer, and eat some crabs, all right? Rock on.